before we start, how many of you read labels? Can you please raise your hands? When you're buying food, how many of you read labels? Everyone, most of you, happy to see. And in label, what kind of informations you people really want to explore? Nutritional information, wow, okay. Expiry date, okay. Storage conditions, wow. Then ingredients, okay. So what do you understand from that when you're reading? Veg and non-veg, wow, okay. So what do you understand basically? What kind of understanding? You were telling you were reading, yeah, that's better. Below that long plasma. Yeah, okay. So, nutrition, what do you understand when you read a label with nutrition? Okay, so how does it help as a consumer? You are a food technologist? Okay. So anyone from non-food background can answer this question? Yeah? In a label, if you are reading a nutritional facts, okay, so what, as a consumer, as a layman, not as a technical person. So, okay. Very good. So can you somewhere link that with bioavailability? No? Not at all. Okay. So, what was the recent ban which happened in food? Mayonnaise, color, okay. Anything related to, yeah sir, food color when added in a prepared food, which is in canteen or any other hotel and restaurant, the penalty is around 3 lakhs. Okay, so color is banned in prepared foods category when it comes to FSSAI. Okay, so apart from color and mayonnaise, anything else is banned? Sorry? Even if you are wrong, it's just we are in the 4 walls. Doesn't matter. Preservatives, okay. Cotton candy, okay. Color, okay. All these are your favorite foods, right? For your generation. Apart from that, something related to Ayurveda, Siddha. Nothing? Okay. So what was the issue with one chili powder? Okay. Okay. Anything else? You are taking a product which is having a health claim. Probably improves your digestion. Okay, because nowadays we require that, right? So, improves digestion. Okay. Now, how do you ensure, okay, that claim is not misleading and it actually improves your digestion? How? Okay. So, what kind of ingredients would be there in a product which is good? Okay. So, ginger, if there is nothing. Sorry? FSSA races. Yeah? FSSA license. Okay. Good. Okay. Now, going forward, we are just going to see something more related to industry specific and consumer specific. Okay. What is the difference between a consumer and a customer? Industry people also are here. Difference between consumer and customer. Sorry? You are a consumer or a customer? Both. Only one answer. Consumer. Who is a customer? The person who's selling you is a customer. Okay. He is not a manufacturer, right? So the manufacturer is selling to a person who we claim it as a customer, and the customer who is selling direct to a, the person who consumes is called a consumer. Now, what kind of understanding you have on transparency in food? See, for example, we take a juice, okay, Tetra Pak juice. In a label, they claim it as no preservative added. Clear? Now you are reading an ingredients. Okay? What is the transparency interpretation for it? On what basis we can tell that no preservative is added? Food technology people, you may be aware, right? In the ingredient list, what will be there? Okay. Okay. You have something called INS numbers, right? Have you read? What is INS number? What is INS 202? Any idea? You have phones in hand. Google, na? INS 202. So, you can see mostly in all the beverages, we have INS 202. Okay? And they claim it as free from preservatives. So, is the transparency addressed? Okay. Now, what do we do as a consumer? Yeah? Avoid the brand or avoid consuming Tetra Pak juice. You are all young consumers who are sitting in front of us. Okay? The purpose, at least today we address this session is what, you people should at least, not like a hero, heroine, at least, somewhere stand in front questioning something which is misleading. Am I right? Yes or no? Are you questioning? Only we will question with the canteen, restaurant, correct? Yes? But we don't want to question something which is more of a risk to health, correct? Yes? Okay. So, why do we need this? Actually, the root cause is what? We are all addicted to fast food, right? How many of you like fried rice, noodles? All of you? Right. So, and deterioration of quality and scarcity of water. Recently, we are able to see in many media that the groundwater is contaminated with heavy metals, radioactive elements in Karnataka. Okay, so one of the reason for this cause is deterioration of available basic resources. Third is poor monitoring of animal health. Recently, there was one thing on paneer. What was it? What was paneer incident? You are all good in social media? All of you are foodies? Yes, right? So then you should know all the news which is related, right? So what was the news on paneer? Sorry? Paneer was not at all from a milk source. Correct? It was a complete 50-50 of chemical, right? So, poor monitoring of animal health, when there is no milk, how do you make paneer? Correct? Then comes inadequate disposition of waste. There are two terms on waste management. What is food loss and what is food waste? When you go to industry, this can become one of a key question. Food loss is what? In kitchen, you're cutting your vegetables, right? Okay? So you will be taking the, tip, all the things, removing whatever which is not edible. So that is called food loss. What is food waste? Whatever we wasting from our plate is called food waste, right? Unfortunately, in our country, food loss is way, way, way lesser than food waste, which means we are wasting so much of food. Correct? Yeah? Okay. Synthetic manure, insecticides, pesticides, and consumer safety. Are we eating a safe food? No? Definitely no. Okay. So, I'm skipping this video because I think we may run short of, why people are, I will not claim it as adulteration, but I will claim it as food fraud. Okay? So why this happens in market is, it can be intentional also. There's something called food threat. Any news you've seen on food threat, especially in Ayurveda, Siddha, intentional impact on your brand name. Anything you have seen, any stories or any tagging you have seen on that cases, which is related to health, like Ayurveda product, nutraceutical product, dietary supplement, Siddha. We call them as food threat. What is it, food threat? Any idea? No idea. Threat is the biggest challenge in food industry. How many of you have heard the term called sabotage? Wow. What is sabotage? Hey, can you share? If possible, will you be able to share anything you have come through? No. Okay. So what is sabotage? Nothing. And when you're not satisfied with the food, okay, the food is not served hot. We put a hair in a food and tell that we have gotten hair, right, to replace the food. Correct? Is it a food threat? You're intentionally wanting to escalate a complaint, right? So, what kind of threats an functional food sector has got? False claiming, very good. When we auditors, when we train food threat and food fraud, we usually ask industries, when you do the assessment, think like a criminal. Okay, so that's how we teach the industry. So how do you think like a criminal? This week I was in one liquid carbon CO2 plant. Okay, so the justification for food threat and food fraud they gave us was, the plant is completely closed system, which means the entire production line is enclosed. So they were telling that there is no chance for a food threat or food security or food fraud. But ideally, there was a lot of threats for them. Even a security guy who enters the system is a threat to them, right? Their data is completely in a software, which is, they call it a SCADA. Any interpretation or anything they do in the SCADA, they tell they have 24 cameras, 34 cameras, whatever. But again, who sits and watches the camera, right? How many of you know, except Amazon and Flipkart, no one will sit before the camera? Only in Amazon and Flipkart, even if you are having 330 cameras, there will be a deployment of one person who will be monitoring the camera, okay, with an access control. But apart from that, none of the food industry we have seen that security, okay? Probably that could be because of the high cost. Loss of market and sales, especially for when you are entering into a healthy concept. We always have a competition on what? We are going to sell something which is natural, which is healthy. From whom we'll get the competition? Exactly. From a brand people or the competitor, right? They will refuse to sell a product which is of nature, right? Yes? Okay. So why? You want any manufacturers here, please, yeah. You want to sell your product, you are taking a support of a doctor to promote your product. So what all ground reality challenges you face? So I think, we all have to, quality is always got a cost. Agree with me? Right? How many of you have, in food technology, visited a beverage plant? No? None of you? You should once visit. Okay? The chemicals they use, my God. I recently audited one plant which they claimed as concentrates. Okay? So the concentrate is what? No? Starting from salt to drinking water, everything they had a premix of chemicals. For salt, there was a chemical of 3. For water, they had a chemical of 2. Whatever we see in beverage industry, for every beverage industry, they had a premix concept. So we audited, but when it comes to food safety, our scope of audit is what? To check if the product is safe or not. So we audit based on a system. Now, we were talking about adulteration, right? These are the few things which you will be going forward seeing in market. Can you give an example of grey market production, theft or diversion? Recently this has happened and India is blacklisted. Any idea? Grey market production, theft or diversion. For example, India is manufacturing for some reason, you are manufacturing 10 times of a raw material. Okay, but the demand is only for certain quantity. Now you have to sell it in grey market. Correct? So that's a food fraud, right? Okay, anyone knows what was the food fraud happened? No? It's a humble request to all the students who are from food technology background. Kindly map your knowledge with the industry. Okay, when you're going to industry, this kind of expectations are there from you. Okay, so the recent blacklist of India was what? No, adding peanut in one oil. Nowhere we can't share the brand. It was exported to US and US blacklisted India, though peanut is the best quality. We all know groundnut oil is a good oil, right? But irrespective, it was not claimed in the label and they faced a huge penalty. And also they faced, because of them, so that oil is banned export from India. Okay. So anyone, unapproved enhancement. Any examples? What is unapproved enhances? What is Sudan dye? Yeah? Color. Petroleum product? Can we claim it as a petroleum product? Claim? Okay. So anyway, sir, I'm not talking about nothing, no technical. So what is, give an example of that? No? Many people claim that in chili powder, we use Kashmiri chilies so that the color is red. Okay? Is it because of this enhancements? Yes or no? Yes? Okay. Now, what is counterfeiting? Any examples you have seen in market? What is counterfeiting? Any example? Guys, please talk, otherwise you are going to sleep. Sorry? Yeah, fake or duplications. Any one product which we can see so much of duplication in market is what? Very good, Bisleri water. Okay, what is dilution? This comes for products which is related to health. Okay, so what is dilution? You add more than the required quantity of water. Okay, substitution. Any idea? For example, what can be substituted in black pepper? Simple. You know all this, right? Just interpret. Concealment. What is the biggest market for poultry now? Antibiotic-free chicken. How many of you want to buy the chicken? Are you seeing that in market? You only know chicken, but whether it is antibiotic-free or antibiotic, you don't want. Okay? So, that's called concealment. Okay? Mislabeling. A very, very, critical thing for an health-based product. We all know that we have one drink in the market which kids drink, their height will increase. Which drink is that? Okay, is it true? No. Now you know Complan, everyone are telling. Now tell me any product which is similar, not like in a corporate end, the smaller manufacturer. Any one product which is mislabeled. How many of you, I cannot ask, have you gone to market and brought during COVID? We all had Kabasura Kudineer, right? Right? Okay. So when you, where do you buy it from? You don't know. Okay. So many people wanted to prefer a ready mix Kabasura Kudineer, right? How many of you have read the label of Kabasura Kudineer? No, right? Ideally, if it was a pre-mix, there was only 20% of the ingredient. 80% was a mix of other herbal. Okay? So I think this is where the terminology understanding and food fraud we need to have. Clear on this? Clear? Okay. So this I'll skip because we discussed on this. Imagine, okay, there is an estimation that because of this fraud, the revenue increases by 30 billion annually. Okay? So, who will not do? Everyone runs a business for what? You become an entrepreneur, we also want to run a business for profit, right? But do we need to go back on food fraud? Ethical business? Sure? All of you vouch for it? Sure? Okay. But when you go to this side, no? Things will change. Okay, these are the few examples. Okay. Impacts of food fraud is what? No? Health and safety implications. Recently, there was a study or ban of protein powders, right? Yes? Why? Finally, I got one technical term, okay? Layman language. What was the reason in restricting protein powder? Protein powder was not protein, huh? Yes. Excess protein consumption, keto diet. Okay. Yeah. You lose your weight, but at the same time, you lose your kidney also. Correct? So, when you are consuming something, no, please think of what bioavailabilities are took into. Okay, that's very, very important when you want to switch over to a natural therapy, but don't take anything on, nothing can be done immediate, correct? Many people don't want to go to Ayurveda, Siddha, all. Why? You everything want to be instant. We cannot wait for slow, progressive waiting period, right? Okay. So I think that's where, we get this health and safety implications. Anyone have tried this? I think in social media we see a lot of stories on weight loss. Correct? So what is your take on it? Is it good for health? What is the natural way to lose weight? I cannot talk, but still, yeah. Okay, any nutritionist in the forum? Sorry, sir? Okay, so what is it? Burn your calories, huh? Yeah, you whatever calories, 2400, 2800 calories also you eat, but burn your calories. The simple truth in nutrition is what, no? Enjoy your food, enjoy good food, but at the same time, be physically active. That is where we are lagging, right? Yes? Okay. So, financial impacts on consumer trust. Will the, corporate or the manufacturer really look for consumer trust? Yes? Hope so. Okay. See, we all know 10 of our fingers doesn't have the same, right? The same concept appears for on this also. If 10 customers criticizing the product, he'll have 100 customers even paying them, he can get the product marketed, correct? We all believe in what? Discounts. How many of you really look for discounts in Swiggy? Tell me. Oh, most of you. Please tell me why there will be a discount. No. The product would have reached its utmost shelf life. They want to clear the stock. For heaven's sake, please don't approach or buy a discounted product when it comes to food. Okay? So, I mean, many people we have seen, no? Especially our mothers, if they put buy two, get one free, no? What they'll do? They'll get two, which means 6 packets will be in our house. But they will not even realize that 6 packet shelf life we can consume. No. So I think that's where the psychology plays a major role. Any idea on bioterrorism? Any idea on bioterrorism? You have studied about xylem. Food technology students, you have studied about xylem. You aware or not? Xylem is a product, a raw material, which is a husk, basically, which is used in nutraceutical industry. And the sad thing is, in none of the industry in India is using that raw material, but they export 100% EOU, that company is. There was a recent bioterrorism where you just need to put a drop of water to completely destroy the farm. 6 months back, that happened in Gujarat. Okay, so how many of us are aware on it? No. Okay, so understand what is bioterrorism. When you enter the industry, they will look for fresh brains like you to interpret bioterrorism or potential possibilities on bioterrorism. Okay, so one of the thing on what was the reason with the banning of mayonnaise, by the way? Okay, so I mean, it was a nice topic to, discuss. But in like எத்தனை பேரு who love kalaki? I think then we need to ban kalaki also, right? How many of you eat sunny side up? See, I think we need to be very practically understanding something which is on a health risk. Okay? So, how many of you eat salads? Seriously? Now tell me, how many of you eat salads without a salad dressing? What kind of salads? Actually, I was working with McD, okay? Maybe the first shop opened in South India. So we were a team. So we used to have a lot of meetings. So most of the times, they'll tell we'll have a business lunch. What we'll have in the business lunch, you tell me? One bowl full of shredded lettuce, red cabbage, carrot. Everyone will enjoy the meal without even salt and pepper. For me, I used to every time ask my general managers, sir, hope I'm not a cow. Why are you feeding me this? Okay, so I think none of us want to take a salad without a proper, at least a minimum salt and pepper. You don't want that also? Wow, good. Okay, so salad is one of a potential threat on food safety. How many of you are aware? How fresh the salad should be? What is the shelf life of a salad? Sorry? Immediately. Okay, but how many of you consume it, bringing it from home and for snack? Okay, so that's where, this understanding on bioterrorism, food fraud, food threat all comes into picture. Okay, now we'll close it with 2 case studies. Okay, I need your honest interpretation. Okay, this is gonna help you people when you go to a market and buy a product. Okay, so you're going for an hypermarket, not a supermarket. What is the difference between a hypermarket and supermarket? What is a hypermarket, supermarket? You people are there within this world, or you don't go anywhere out. Lulu is a hypermarket or supermarket? Reliance is a hypermarket or supermarket? Reliance has got both. Reliance Smart Bazaar is an hypermarket. Reliance Super or a Smart Point is a supermarket. Okay? So, difference. What is the difference? Okay. Okay. So, a hypermarket sells everything inside a premises, correct? You can get food, clothing, you can eat there, correct? You can get electronics, furnishings, everything in one place is called hypermarket. Now you are going to an hypermarket, okay? And you are so much influenced. I should tell, after this conference, at least you people will be influenced, right? So you are so much influenced to move to health. Okay, so you want to buy products which is more related to health. Okay, when you're going there, you are seeing products which help you, do sports regularly, have enough sleep, have balanced diet, exercise, it helps you doing exercise, you can walk more. These are the products which is I've given in indirect terminologies so that you're going to an hypermarket. Now you want to pick all these products. Okay? You can Google whatever, however way you want to do, you do it. Okay? What kind of nutritional facts, key facts, you will look into this 5 products? For example, do sports regularly. What nutrition is more important? Carbohydrates. What will be there in the nutritional facts first thing? Carbohydrates, but we use it as energy, right? Okay. Enough sleep every day. What is more required in a product? Which nutritional claim will talk more about sleep? Nowadays we are seeing so much in social media on that. Very good. I'm surprised to see this reply from young guys, because I wanted to try on magnesium, in fact. Okay. What is balanced diet? Sir was talking about balanced diet, right? The way we sit, put a banana leaf. Where do we start? Salt. I mean, yalele vekkirda salt. Saapuradu first eduma. Okay. So, I mean, if anyone from Bangalore, Karnataka, very good. We eat kosambari, right? right? What is kosamri? Moong dal, cucumber, and some coconut, which helps you to digest the food, basically, correct? And it also gives you that required water content so that you need not drink water often. Okay, so there is every meal, when they are plating it for you, there is a reason behind it in our tradition, correct? Yes? Okay, now what product or label you will see in balanced diet? Recently in FSSAI, High Court is given a notice to FSSAI telling that within June, okay, they have to completely close the labeling claim on certain things. What is it? You are aware of it? What is it? Label claims has to be very, very specific, especially for three things. What is that? Allergens. Okay, I'm happy to hear allergens. Wow. Okay. What is critical for a balanced diet? Let's not go to square one. What is critical for balanced diet? Right proportion of carbohydrate, protein, fat, and the carbohydrate is not in the form of total sugar. Am I right? At least you remember the subject, right? Okay. So, now comes for balanced diet. Now we will read the nutrition labels on total sugar. What do you mean by unsaturated fat in a label? There is gonna be a new product in market which is related to functional foods, okay, which is in the concept for oil pulling, okay, which is made out of unsaturated fat. Okay, now what is unsaturated fat? Okay. Today conference, no talking about anything technical, right? My topic is anyways. So please look on for in a nutritive facts, product related information related to unsaturated fat if you want to exercise daily. Okay, now walk on foot. What nutritional parameter will be helping you for walking? When you walk, before you walk and after you walk, what we are supposed to do? Drink water, that is secondary. Okay. Other than that, what is there? Breathe properly. Okay. Anything else? No? What is required? If you, especially, I mean, it's a very, very basic thing. What is good in milk? That's all, na? Walking, no, we require bone strength. Huh? That's all, no? You told, huh? Okay. Good. Okay, so now, this is what we discussed. Now, second question. You are a professional, okay? You can understand the claim. Will you recommend the product which you are seeing in the label? Understood the label or not? Understanding the label, right? Will you buy the product or will you recommend the product in your friend circle? This product is be claimed on health. What is the problem there? Or what is a misleading statement here? Let's take the first label. What is the misleading statement here? That's what I don't know. Don't think science. Think on a layman perspective. What is the claim? So what is misleading here? The higher the fat, the digestion will be, then it's a misleading statement. Correct? Yes or no? Okay, what's there? Can we answer? Yeah, yes. Can we answer the second label? Sorry? Good question. Ideally speaking, this was the answer I wanted. The label doesn't carry any details, which is for the claim, right? What is that? USP is what? Unit selling price. Okay, now, just 2 minutes of, okay. Now, there are two legal requirements in India. Okay, one is FSSA and second is Ayush. I think Ayush, most of the people and most of the products are aware of. But have you seen an FSSA number or a logo in any of the products which is related to health? Let's take a cough syrup. Let's not go too much deep into it. You buy cough syrup at home? Have you seen an FSSA number apart from Dabur and all that? Small Tulsi cough syrup. No? If you're not, I'm sorry to be very, in a very low level, no? If a street food cannot be sold without an FSSA license, I think, the products which are manufactured is illegal to be sold in market without a proper license. Correct? Yeah? Okay. So now, if there is no license, what will you do? If you're not seeing an FSSA number? How many of you know or understand a term called regulations? You know what is regulation? Yeah, very good. So, how many of you know there is a regulation for FSS regulation on nutraceutical and dietary supplements? Everyone knows, huh? Okay. Have you seen inside of the nutraceutical and dietary supplements? I was there in Mumbai last week with the guys who were handling sustainability and all that stuff. So those guys were opening the limitations which is of different countries. What we understood during that presentation was what is allowed in India is completely not allowed in other country. Which is the toughest country? Okay, so if you have to supply or export a product to US, what is it you require? Are you aware of this? We call it as FSMA, Food Safety Modernization Act. Okay, it's got 7 processes. Okay, as of now, we Indians, we are only on the first, where we do Foreign Supplier Verification Program, VSVP, FSVP. I'm an auditor for it. Okay, so when we do this audit, okay, we call it a CGMP audit or FSVP audits. But sadly, the Indian industries which is related to Ayurveda or whatever, traditional medicine, don't even qualify on the basics. Let's not talk on the technical side. Not even on the basics they qualify. Intentional allergen. How many of you know what are the allergens you people are aware of? Okay. Mango is an allergen. Are you aware? No? Mango is also an allergen. Okay. Sulfite is an allergen. Yes? So we can eat how much ever raw sugar we require, we can eat. No? Okay. So I think this is what, if you need to follow all the 7 rules to export to US. This more or less meets the requirement of FDA. Okay. So I would like to end my session. Any questions? I think we can open for a minute. Yeah. Any questions? No questions? As a consumer, no questions? Uh, okay. So government has simplified many things. Okay, you have an app called Food Safety Connect. How many of you are aware? That it's supporting in Android as well as in iOS. Download the app. Please ensure the complaint which you are raising should have evidences. When you are taking a legal front, you will not be asked to come to the court. Your name will not be disclosed. Your identity will not be disclosed. However, the evidences like supporting photographs, your bill copy, but the bill copy should have an FSSA number. Okay, if you upload all that in the app, within 24 hours, FSSA will reach to the manufacturer or the food business operators. Food safety connects. Any other questions? From the last row. Do we need to now switch on the light or still you are on the sleep mode? Okay, so thank you. Thanks Nandini ma'am for giving the opportunity. Thanks. Thank you all.